Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining in. We shall wait for a few more minutes for others to join us. Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you present here. And thank you for joining in for today's session. Today's session is very vital with respect to the career prospects that you may have in mind for yourself as you're in the process of your application, be it for the Young India Fellowship or the Masters in English or Economics. And as all of us know that all the deadlines are actually knocking at the door. For the English, it's 4th of March. For Young India Fellowship, it's 15th of March. And for the Masters in Economics, it's 31st of March. So it is actually the right time for you all to know more about the career prospects. That is, what could be the pathways after you complete your program, and what are the opportunities that would be offered at Ashoka University in terms of the placements, in terms of figuring out career pathways. So we have in today's session Ms. Priyanka Chandhok, who is the Assistant Vice President of the Career Development Office at Ashoka University. So I would like to formally introduce her before handing over the session to her. So she has over 22 years of varied experience in the field of executive search, recruitment, corporate strategy, marketing and communications, business development, client engagement and management, relationship management, training and development. She was previously the managing director and partner for Gilbert Tweed International, which is an international executive search firm. In her career as a search consultant, she has been responsible for spearheading assignments involving search of senior professionals and business leaders for organizations in various industries, including education, publishing, retail, real estate, consumer goods, and medical systems. She has worked with various startups in setting up their entire top and middle level management teams. Her passion for the education industry prompted her to set up the education practice for the organization, and she has worked with several leaders in this domain. She holds a postgraduate diploma in marketing management and a BCom honors degree from Sri Ram College of Commerce, Delhi University. Thank you, Priyanka, for hosting today's session. Over to you.
Thank you, Anuja, for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, everyone. I'm Priyanka Chandhok, and I represent the Careers Office at Ashoka University. We are a 10-member team that focuses essentially on outreach to companies, student engagement, and strategic initiatives. Our mission is to ensure that students looking to apply for opportunities through jobs and internships have access to the right career paths and receive constant guidance from members of the team to improve their skills so that they're able to set off on a sustainable career path. I'm going to share a short presentation that I have made for all of you today. If you just allow me a moment to just give you a sense of what we do and what have been some of the opportunities that we have been able to bring forth to graduating students of Ashoka University, particularly for the postgraduate programs. As I mentioned earlier, it is our mission to ensure that students graduating have the right career opportunities offered to them, and they are able to set off on a sustainable career path. We are a 10-member team connected to over 850 organizations. We are constantly seeking to find opportunities for students. We have been able to develop relationships with several marquee organizations across various sectors over the years, and our network is continuously increasing. Just to give you a sense, over 500 organizations have shared roles both for placement and internship opportunities for Ashoka students over the last 5 years. This is a snapshot of some of our recruiters. This is, of course, not an exhaustive list, but only indicative of recruiters that have shared opportunities and where several alums are working currently across banking, finance, consulting, the development sector, which is a robust sector for us, education, internet technology, leaders in the IT BPO space. We've got several students who are doing very well in the media publishing domain. Research and analytics has a lot of economics students, for example, employed with organizations. Several startups are hiring from us, think tanks, and several other organizations. This is just a snapshot of the sort of organizations that have recruited from us over the years. Our essential aim is to ensure that we are there to help students evaluate their goals by way of their careers, prepare them for the entire recruitment process. And I will take you through what we do in order to make sure that they are prepared well. Explore possibilities. So often we have students who are not sure of which direction they want to go. Team members are there to assist them and guide them and explore even new possibilities that they may not have already had in mind. And of course, navigate through the tangled web of job hunting, which is a pretty complex one, but our team is there to ensure that we facilitate placements and internships for them. We offer one-on-one counseling sessions to students who opt for placements and even others. We conduct several workshops on resume building, including others that I will take you through. Prepare them for interviews through interviewing skills workshop, help them with writing SoPs, cover letters, etc., which is focused especially for recruiters, as well as conduct several industry-related skills and competency development programs through what we call a CDO preparatory program. Again, details of that I will share with you shortly. We often engage with several recruiters, inviting them for speaker sessions. The idea is to foster relationships and facilitate recruitment for graduating students. The career preparation program, as I mentioned earlier, it's essentially designed to groom the students and get them career ready for the workplace. We do invite several senior industry professionals who specialize in these workshops. We have a network of founders of the university who are industry stalwarts and are able to help students and guide them as well, and a robust bunch of alumni who are experts in their field, who come and talk to the graduating students, tell them about opportunities that are available and how to prepare themselves and what to expect at the workplace. So through the year, as I mentioned earlier, we have resume workshops, we conduct several speaker series, interview workshops, we do several leadership sessions. We have case studies that we do, workshops that we do continuously. There's career counseling as well as industry-wise mentorship sessions to ensure that we are able to meet the needs of students across various industries. A snapshot of the program that we did for 2022. It is fairly robust. We have industry overview sessions. for students who are not sure of which industry that they want to be associated with. So they have the opportunity to attend various sessions and make up their mind. We're there to assist for resume building, how to, sort of go through LinkedIn in order to build your networking and build your profile better, as well as several role overview sessions with alumni. We get them to get a sense of how the market is progressing, what are the sort of opportunities out there, particularly at the application stage. So understanding and decoding JDs is an interesting session that we do for them. Really look out for what is it that attracts you in the organization and the role. Business communication, we do industry-specific resume reviews. We help in we help students in understanding how to navigate their way through group discussions, do industry-specific mock interviews with alumni as well as team members of the CDO. Of course, several sessions across Excel analytics, finance, data interpretation, guesstimates, and these are all feedback that we've received from several recruiters, because of which we developed the CDO preparatory program. This has helped students tremendously in doing very well in interviews and bagging good jobs within corporates. And finally, of course, preparing them by way of leadership speaker series, master classes with CXOs, etc. These are very interesting sessions because these are opportunities to engage with industry stalwarts, have Q&A sessions, really bust some myths associated with the industry and ask interesting questions around what to expect at the workplace. A snapshot of how placements have been over the last few years. To give you a sense, we have the number of companies since 2017 to 2021 has increased drastically. As I mentioned, we do have relationships with a number of recruiters across various industries. Placements has also seen a rise. Of course, 2020 was a COVID year, and that's why the dip in the placement number, but that's growing continuously. Also, I would like to mention that 100% of the students opting for placements have been placed by the Career Development Office up to 2021. We're in the 22 cycle. And we will definitely achieve the 100% number. We still have a few months to complete that timelines for us. Just a snapshot of some of the roles that have been offered across various industries. So I'm going to take you through these slides very quickly, and of course, happy to answer questions around them at a later stage. There's a whole host of roles mentioned here. I'd urge you all to go to the CDO website where you will get details about these roles, and they're all mentioned there. So this is across FMCG, consumer goods, EdTech, education, media, advertising, publishing, which may be relevant for those of you evaluating for the MA English cohort. We have companies across internet technology, pharma, healthcare, and of course a robust pool of roles in the social sector think tank organizations. This is a snapshot of how recruiting has been over the last few years. We haven't put the 2022 numbers there simply because we haven't yet finished. The recruitment phase is not yet over. Also, to give you a sense, recruitments or placements rather for Ashoka University starts in the month of October. And as opposed to several other institutions, we don't have a week or a month of recruitments. Recruitments for us carry across the entire placement season up to the month of May, when students are, in fact, a lot of organizations hire closer to the date of joining. Interestingly, a lot of organizations engage with us for internships as well. And this is, of course, relevant for all the cohorts that are evaluating, all the people that are evaluating the postgraduate programs. So we do have summer internships. There are several graduate internships. Organizations often offer roles for internships, followed by a PPO. We call that a pre-placement offer route. There are virtual internships. There are several live projects happening that recruiters engage with us for. The YIF ELM module that runs through the one-year program during the Young India Fellowship, and of course, winter internships during the winter months. We've had some very interesting internship opportunities that students have received from leaders within some of the companies that you can see here. Hindustan Lever, ITC is, like I see, not mentioned here, but has given several internship opportunities, Google, SR, Axis Bank, etc. So this is a fairly robust list. Of course, this list is evolving, and we're seeing that a lot of companies prefer to come through the internship route, particularly in the banking, finance, or the FMCG sectors. Just a snapshot of certain recruiter testimonials. Our recruiters have been very happy with the sort of talent that they've hired through Ashoka University, especially students with a liberal arts education and an interdisciplinary focus. So I'm going to pause here. In fact, I will stop sharing and happy to answer any questions, Anuja, if you can help me with.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Priyanka. So yeah, there are a few questions in the tab. Okay, so I think there is this question about someone has filled out the Young India Fellowship form. When will the results be announced? Yeah, I think this is the final deadline. Is 15th of March, and if you have filled out the application by 26th or 27th of February, then your application will be assessed by 6th of March. But I would really request you all to ask questions which is relevant for today's session, as it's a focus session on career development offers and the different opportunities available. Any admissions related queries can be directed directly to the email IDs which are there with you. Okay, then there is a question. Priyanka is asking that does our university will also have course-specific placements?
So I'm happy to answer that question. Yes and no. So we have several recruiters engaging with us. Sometimes recruiters are sure about which cohort they want to hire from. So for example, we may get a clear JD specifying that they want people with work experience. In that case, it is open to the Young India Fellowship. Students, sometimes they say people with an English background. So then it's course specific. But sometimes they're open to evaluating across cohorts. So for example, there could be certain roles that we could open up maybe for a research and analytics organization that they're open to looking at Young India Fellows as well as economics students. So it's a bit of both, to answer your question specifically.
Thank you. The next question, I think there is this attendee who would want to know more about the PPO, that's pre-placement offer. Yeah.
Sure. So pre-placement offer is a PPO. So a lot of organizations like to come in via the internship route, where they may not hire for a full-time role immediately. A PPO can come for students, say, for example, in the first year MA Eco going to the second year, they may have an internship. And if both parties are agreeable, so if the organization is happy with your performance, it will give you a pre-placement offer, which means that after you complete your second year of education at Ashoka, you will get an offer, a confirmed offer. So that's what is a PPO. Sometimes, for example, relevant for the Young India Fellowship program, for example, because you don't have it is a one-year program. Some organizations may recruit again for internships. So this would be maybe for about 6 to 8 month internship. And post that, they will convert that to a pre-placement offer. So they will make the offer during the end of your tenure of the internship.
Thank you. Then there is this question about in the considering Young India Fellowship is a one-year program, do students get the time and flexibility to get to do their internship?
So actually, for the Young India Fellowship, internships are difficult because you don't have the time to go for internships during that 1 year. However, there is the ELM, the experiential learning module, that is a part of your curriculum that you would be engaged with organizations, and work with them. But no, specifically to answer your question, not for the Young India Fellowship. During the course of the 1 year, you will not get internship opportunities as such, because it's you will not have the time. But post the fellowship, some organizations will offer internships. As I mentioned earlier, they could be 6 to 8 month internships followed by pre-placement offers.
Right. Thank you. There's someone who would like to know about the job prospects after completing the fellowship. What kind of opportunities available for students with a humanities background?
Yeah, so that's a good question. With a humanities background, of course, the world is open to you. We are a liberal arts and sciences institution. We've seen very interesting placements happen at Ashoka. We have had history majors get placed in consulting organizations. We've had philosophy majors go in for BFSI roles, because at Ashoka you do get a diverse experience with your interdisciplinary education. But specifically to answer your question, with a humanities background, you can go in for a generalist role. It could be in an HR function. It could be a recruitment lead, talent acquisition managers. You could even, interestingly, humanities majors have also gone into EA roles. For example, the strategic roles where you work closely with founders of organizations, where you're defining strategies for them. Communication is another interesting role that is offered to students with humanities background. So actually, to answer your question, there are a host of opportunities. And as I mentioned earlier, do look up the website where you'll see a number of roles listed out there. The world is open for you, and you will definitely receive some good offers, even with a humanities background.
Thank you. Then there is a question about the placement statistics with regards to the salaries offered for the YIF program. Is there any insight that you would like to share, Priyanka?
Sure. Happy to. In terms of median salaries for the Young India Fellowship, it is 11 lakhs, which we saw over the last few years. This year, my sense is that it would increase. We haven't completed the placement cycle, so I'm not going to mention that number right now. But as of now, this is what it is. The range is fairly wide. So we have seen placements happen. For example, social sector organizations usually don't offer very high salaries, whereas consulting organizations may. The range, therefore, is anywhere from 6 lakhs, and it goes up to about 30 lakhs. So that's the diverse range, but median salaries, which would be more relevant for you, is 11 lakhs for the Young India Fellows.
Okay. Thank you. There is a question from an MA English aspirant, I believe, that what about the organizations where they could work with? And also, I think this is the first graduating year for the Masters in English students.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So happy to share that, in fact, even though we haven't completed our placement cycle, all the students opting for placements from the MA English cohort have already been placed at Ashoka for the 2022 graduating batch. We've seen that they have gone in for roles across. There have been roles with media publishing houses. There have been roles with startups that students have opted for. Yes, primarily, this is what I think with an MA English background, this is where I see a lot of students. Yes, and the advertising space. So media publishing and advertising domain, a lot of students with an English background have got roles. Also, sorry, I may add here, even in the education sector, the content development roles, we've seen several MA English students get opportunities for.
Thank you, Priyanka. The next question is about whether a list of companies are, shared before the placement season begins. Do they get a list of companies?
No, we don't get a list of companies before the placement season begins. There is a list of companies, again, on the website that you will see of recruiters that have recruited in the past, but we don't put out a list out there before placements. it usually is told to students by way of conversations or just before we get opportunities from these organizations, because we have to really wait for them to. So often, organizations don't share well in advance, and our placement starts somewhere in the month of October. So at best, we have a 15-day window of organizations that would be participating, and that information, yes, we do share, but it's very tough for us to put out the entire list before the placement season begins.
Right. Then there is a question that in YIF, are there job offers for freshers in BFSI role, or is prior work experience needed?
Yes, of course. We have seen in BFSI sector, we've got recruiters across HSBC, American Express, Citibank, and Axis Bank, and a host of others who have taken freshers as well for roles. So they have been usually, they are open to taking students anywhere from between 0 to 2 years of work experience and more. So to answer your question, yes, the BFSI sector has recruited students, even if you don't have prior job experience.
There's a question about, does Ashoka or YIF's Career Development Committee have or sponsored entrepreneurial avenues? Any insight on that, Priyanka?
So no, the entrepreneurial avenues don't happen through us. We have a Center for Entrepreneurship that you will get to know once you're a part of the system, of course. And please feel free to visit the website. They facilitate any entrepreneurial opportunities that you're scouting around for.
Right. In Ashoka, is there also offered a PhD in abroad? So I think with respect to higher education opportunities, Akash, you could get in touch with the Global Education Cell, which is already there at the university, and because they will be able to help you better on those front. And also we have a huge network. The alumni network at Ashoka will be of huge help with respect to, figuring out different prospects, with respect to understanding what kind of courses are available, connecting with alums who are pursuing certain a certain field in academics in different universities across the world. So I think you would get a lot of networking opportunities, as well as the Global Education Cell at the university would be able to help you in figuring out that aspect. Yes, so I think financial aid related question is something that we would be able to share the link with you. It's already there on the YouTube channel of Ashoka University. You do not have to submit a separate application during your application process for financial aid. Anyone who applies and anyone who gets through the application, the financial aid will get in touch with you to understand your financial context, and that process will be continued accordingly. Okay, there is a question that, can I reject an offer for one company because a better company announced later? Is that something that you would like to?
Yeah, so we have a fairly stringent placement policy in place. I'll be happy to take you through the policy information once you join Ashoka University. It's tough for me to share this with you right now. But to give you a broad sense, we do categorize organizations. And if it's a marquee recruiter, we obviously would expect you to evaluate the organization before you apply. We'll also assist you if you have any questions, around specific job roles, so that you're sure that you're making the right, decision vis-a-vis applications. Most often, we encourage you to accept the offer if it's your dream company, for example, and otherwise we may give you other opportunities as well. So it's really specific to the placement policies, but details of that I'm not in a position to divulge right now.
I hope I'm audible, because I believe my network is becoming a bit unstable. Am I audible? Okay, thank you.
Yes, you're audible, Anuja.
Yeah, thank you. There is this question about whether a person will get any individual interview preparatory session as a student?
Yes, of course. As I mentioned a few times earlier as well, there is going to be support throughout, before you sit for placements and even during the entire placement season. We have team members who will conduct mock interview sessions. They will guide you through your resumes. They will guide you through your application process. We do several one-on-one mock interview sessions throughout the year. So you will get all the assistance required there.
Thank you. The next question is about, given the heterogeneous nature of the YIF program, are the students in YIF trained in a homogeneous way or according to a certain kind of background? Just curious to know about how it takes place.
So if your question is with respect, in order for students to become career ready, I did mention to you, we conduct a preparatory program for students where we take, in fact, it's a 3-month program before placements start, where we take you through various sessions that are relevant for jobs that recruiters share with us, for the roles recruiters share with us. It's across business communication, Excel, how to conduct yourselves during group discussions, even business analytics sessions, case studies, guesstimates, etc. So yes, the Career Development Office does prepare you through those sessions. And of course, that's in addition to the academic and other knowledge that you receive during the Young India Fellowship Program. We're there to handhold and assist you through the entire session as well. So even if students reach out to us during the year with respect to certain sessions that they wish to have, we're happy to organize them if there are enough takers to attend the session.
Thank you. There is an economics aspirant, I believe, master's in economics aspirant, who would like to know a bit more details about the placement opportunities for them.
So historically, there have been a lot of placements for MA economics students in research and analytics roles. And these could be with across, again, industries. We have students that have got through the BFSI sector. They've been evaluated for consulting roles. The IT BPO sector has hires from MA Economics, again, for research analytics roles as well. So I think it would be across various sectors where students with an economics background particularly are considered. But research and analytics is primarily, the sort of sector where some of you can expect roles to come in.
There's a question, I'm afraid I wouldn't know the full form of AIC, but if you know, Priyanka, are the CDO and AIC the same?
No, the CDO and AIC is very different. CDO is a Career Development Office. There is an Ashoka Internship cell, which essentially comprises of students. It is usually 10 to 12 students within within Ashoka who work closely with the Career Development Office in ensuring that we get ample opportunities for internships for students. Similarly, we do have a placement committee, which is a student body, which works closely with the Career Development Office to ensure that we get opportunities and they're able to bridge the gap between the external world and the students. So Placement Committee and Ashoka Internship Cell work very closely with the Career Development Office.
Thank you. The next question is about what are the prospects for impact investing or social impact consulting for the aspirants who are especially applying through the YIF?
So there are a host of organizations within that space that hire from us. We've seen, in fact, I did share the statistics with you, but it's social development think tank organizations has been the largest chunk of hiring at Ashoka. So there are ample roles that come in from the social impact space. Interestingly, a lot of that hiring happens closer to your graduation date. So it happens a little later through the months of March and April, because these are organizations that conduct their placement and recruitments around that time. There are a host of organizations, as I mentioned. I would request you to go through the website, which has clearly a list of those specified for you.
Thank you, Priyanka. We are not left with any more questions as of now. But if there is anything else that you would like to share, please feel free to.
So I think we've had a great session with some good engaging questions. Of course, if there are any, then you could sort of mail us and we can get back to you with specific responses. I just want to end with this statement. Of course, CDO, the Career Development Office, is there to handhold and ensure that students looking out for opportunities are looked after. We're there to help you with counseling sessions, ensure that we engage with recruiters and bring them on board, or help you in any other way required so that you can set off on your own sustainable career paths. All the best to all of you. And hopefully we will be seeing you, a few of you in person when you join the university.
Thank you, Priyanka, for a very insightful session. I think it would have been of much help for all the aspirants currently present here to get an understanding of how the placement procedure and the career development office largely works at the university. I have shared my email ID in the chat because I realized quite a few of you had questions related to the application process. Please feel free to reach out to me in case of any query related to the application process with regards to MA English, ECO, or YIF. I think, are we okay to take one more question? There is something that someone would like to know about the placement statistics of the last YIF batch.
Sure, Anuja, go ahead.
Yeah, so just would like to get an insight. This person mentioned that if we could get an insight about the placement statistics of the last YIF batch. Is there anything that we can share from our end?
So as I mentioned, for the last YIF batch, 100% of the students opting for placements got placed. I'm looking at the numbers. It was about 122 students that had opted for placements, which got opportunities. 258 organizations hired from the Young India Fellowship Program. In terms of median salaries, it was 11 lakhs, as I mentioned earlier. The range is fairly diverse, anywhere between 7 to 30 lakhs. So any specific statistic this person wants to know, I'm happy to answer specifically, but broadly, this is it. In terms of industries recruiting, I'm happy to mention education, edtech. There was a large chunk of organizations within the edtech space that hired from Young India Fellowship. There was recruitment across consulting, social sector, and think tanks have hired from the Young India Fellowship. We've received roles from internet technology companies, pharma, healthcare, etc. So broadly, this is what the statistics are for the Young India Fellowship Program.
Thank you, Priyanka. That was very comprehensive. I believe the person who had asked the question must have got the answer. Thank you. Thank you for the session. Thank you for your time, Priyanka. And all the best to all the aspirants present here. I hope you get through the admissions